Going on, nerds? Got another one here for you. Now, note this is mostly for the server to show some of the players that's been playing how the AI is set up here. I have 11 different type of AI. You can see I got them. You can already see them in skeleton mode. There's one there, one over there, and two over here. So I'm going to go through, show what they look like. Oh good, I can show a bunch while I'm here. Good spot. Any case. Alright, so we're going to start with the civilian. I will go over the loot at the end of showing the AI. It's just easier to do it all at once to get an idea. Alright, just want you to see what they look like. Alright, so this first one is the civilian. Now these are random faction. They'll be dressed up in different clothing randomly, kind of warm clothing to help keep them warm. They do die from the cold. 10 of them spawn mostly around the coast, okay, around the outer, and then 4 in the middle. Now the difference is the ones along the coast have a patrol point A to B, and they'll stay there in that area. Server restart, anything, if they picked up anything, they'll go back to what they started with. The 4 in the center of this map will roam on their own and through server restarts and actually upgrade loot. And they're, you know, in cities, I'm not going to say where, but in little towns here in the middle, okay? Keep in mind, since these are random faction, what that means is that they'll either be friendly or they won't be friendly. Approach them with care. Sometimes they'll be late to the draw, so to speak, and it kind of lag, and next thing you know, they're shooting you. So keep that in mind. You'll know once you get close enough. If you don't see recruit in front of you, press F. They're an enemy. You can recruit guards. Alright? That takes care of the civilian. Okay. Police. Alright. This is the police. There's 5 of these at police station, 1 per police station. This is the only one you cannot loot, and it's only because of the gear I put on him. I don't think everyone should be getting a gear, that good a gear that soon. Okay? Alright. So again, 5. Wait, make sure I'm right. Sorry, 6. 1 at each police station. I could have missed one, but I think that's correct. Alright, medics are at most police stations, or medical stations, and hospitals. Alright. And there is 7 of these. Alright. You're going to notice that this one's melee. So before I move on to the next person, I want to make this clear real quick. The firefighters, medics, construction worker, and the biker are all just melee. The biker you can't recruit. The medic, firefighter, and construction worker you can. They only carry melee, and there's a reason why. That way, if you want to recruit them and they're silent and take a more silent approach, you can. In other words, when you fire, or they fire, anything within 500 meters AI, they will come looking. So you can bait shot if you want. So I give these as an option. Plus it kind of pretty cool to have. You can kill any of these. Just keep in mind, if you kill any friendlies, you'll get a 2-minute buff, bottom left hand corner of your screen. Bounty. That means any friendly will kill you. After that's gone, you're good. If you are teamed up with one of these and you kill a policeman or a fireman, while they're with you, they usually don't shoot you, but if you dismiss them, in other words, take away from recruit, ungroup, they will surely shoot you while that buff is running. The bounty, rather. Never dismiss AI your group with. Just log out with them. Trust me, I've died that way. So in any case, I would not attack other friendlies when you're with a friendly just because you want their loot. Because yes, they have loot. Okay? Alright, back to, let's see, that's the police, medic. Alright, worker, I think there's a worker over here, construction worker. And then we'll come back to Negan one. Alright. The construction worker. Again, you can recruit. You can see he's got a sledgehammer. There is 4 on these on the map. I will not tell you where they are because of the amount of nails they carry. I'll explain at the end. Just think large. All I'm going to say is large industrial areas. You got to figure it out on your own from there. Okay? Okay. Alright, let's see if we can find this Negan guy. Too bad I can't control the characters. Let's turn this off so we can see. Alright, this one you cannot recruit, will attack on sight. Stand still, buddy. You can see he carries a barbed baseball bat, all in black. He's just the Oriental Negan, okay? You'll notice they all wear headlamps, and they do work at night. Sometimes they don't turn them on. It's not often, though. Alright, so, just to reiterate, he's aggressive. And he looks aggressive. It's kind of obvious. Civilians, random faction, aggressive or non-aggressive. I want that like the player, like a player does. You don't know if they're going to be trustworthy or not. Police, duh, friendly. Firefighter, duh, friendly. Medic, duh, friendly. Okay? Makes sense if you sit and think about it. Alright. Bandit. Alright, let's see. Okay, takes care of them. Let's just go to a bandit camp. Alright. So, you can see here, I got them marked on the map. So, there's 7 bandits, and they just cover the small military areas. Just the small. Alright. Let's go fly to one. If I can find it on the dang map. The only thing about the snow map, you can't see the white. Well, at least somebody my age, because I'm old as dirt. Alright. Now these guys are wearing wind strides gear, okay? And no, it doesn't have much inventory space. Alright, turn this off, you can see them. Alright, so these are the bandits. Oh, my camera's going too fast. Bruh. Slow down. There we go. You can see they're pretty warm and toasted up. Alright, they got AK-47s. I know, it's AK-74, but you get what I'm talking about. Alright. I didn't tell you the police was an SSG-82. Police rifle, by the way. Alright. Now, the bandits, there's 14 on the map, but they're groups of 2. 7 places. Okay? They're just protecting tier 2 loot. Alright. Takes care of bandits. Alright, let's see the ghillie. I can't see a dang. What the hell is it? I didn't used to have a problem seeing this orange, but for some reason I'm having trouble. There we go. Alright. Alright, so Gillies hunters, I call them hunters because they're wearing hunting gear and a ghillie. Alright, there's only 2 on the map. I'm not sure what side he's on, but we'll figure it out. Make sure this is turned on. Let me find him. Just be patient, guys. No, he's here somewhere. Unless I spawn too close to him, because they won't spawn if you're too close. Alright, let's try out here. Maybe I can see better. I got skeleton turned on. Where art thou? Bruh. Because I don't want to find... Certainly don't want to find the one in the middle map. It's almost impossible to find him. Alright, I must be missing him. Don't really need to see him. It's just white snow. In any case. Alright. Probably you guys see him and I don't. It's alright. Oh, there he is. Glad I found him. Jeez. Alright. So you can see he's in a ghillie. He stays running. He sprints because he's trying to cover the whole volcano. He's to protect the scientist key, which is the key to the bunker to the what used to be Tier 4 island, Southwest Island. Now it's Tier 3. Thank you, DayZ. In any case, that's what he's protecting. Alright. The second ghillie is somewhere around here. Okay? All I'm going to say is he makes a big patrol. And yes, they're worth looting. Gillie's pretty easy to come by, but he's got hunting gear, and he's got a badass rifle. And nails. Nails. Everybody loves nails, don't you? Bunch of nerds. Alright, we're almost there. It was the ghillie military. Alright, I'm gonna go there. Let's turn this off. Now I'm not going to show you all of the military on the Southwest Island. So the military only control this Tier 3. That's it. Okay? Bandits control the militaries here. They took over. They whooped the ass. Ours. Alright. These might be hard to catch. So I'm going to start here. Make sure I got it back up. Yep, there they are. You can see they have the FAMAS, however you pronounce it, geared up pretty good. I can see I'm gonna have to change the helmet. It's not the correct one, not the right color. Yeah. Huh. Server owners, what do you expect? Okay, so as far as them, there's 12 on this island in groups of 2, so 6 sets of 2 protecting. They're protecting the bunker, the power station, and, well, the rest of the loot. Alright? Okay. Alright, I think we're on the last one. No, we got one more after this. Shipwreck. Actually, I was at the shipwreck. No, I wasn't. Close to it, though. This one's pretty cool. Now, the shipwreck is tier 4. And you can see on the icon in front of me, the text in front of me, I marked everything for tier. Alright, I visited this a while ago, so I don't know if they're going to respawn. Alright, we're going to come back to this one. Hang on. Sorry guys, worst time to get a phone call, right? Alright, we're going to come back to this one because I don't see them. Wait, yeah I do. They're there. Alright. So these guys, there's 5 of them. And they're guarding the tier 4 ship. And I kind of dressed them up to look Navy-like. They got AK-74s, AK-47, whatever you want to call it. Slow this camera down. They're pretty cool looking. Let me turn this on so you can see them better. So you got one out here running around, 2 on the boat, 1 here, and I think one's out here somewhere. Yeah, right there. Now, these, note, don't think they're bugged. Okay, normally when you shoot one AI, then the other ones hear it and then they all come running. I set these not to do that because what would happen is you could come out here and shoot one AI and the rest of them fall in the water, get stuck in here. It was an absolute wreck. So, you can get a good distance back, pick off one at a time and work your way in. Alright, I don't really like it that way. I wanted them all to aggro, but they get retarded and they get stuck. Alright. Paratroopers. Alright, what we're going to do here, because we're not going to wait for a plane to spawn, I'm going to spawn one. They get a good empty area. This is my test server, by the way. I just matched it up so I can spawn an AI all over the place. Alright, hang on, let me get this aimed to the sky. Now you can see the plane. Let me make sure I'm invisible. Oh wait, no, I need to not be invisible. Alright, so paratroopers come out. There's 2 that come out. And this is random. I've got it, just changed it recently from to fly every 30 minutes. Max 5 on the map. And I slowed the plane down so you had a chance to get away. So you can hide from these. It's a matter of this plane spots you. If the plane spots you, then paratroopers come out. And it warns you. So you get 2 messages. The plane, and then the paratroopers come out. Now, if I would have stayed hidden, they wouldn't have found me. Okay? I do fall pretty fast, but I've got it the best I can. Once in a while, they'll get stuck on something and then fall off and die. Alright, let's go back invisible so you can see these guys. I just put a flight helmet on them. The parachute, I had to make it disappear, because what would happen is they'd land and the parachute would still be up while they were running. So I make it delete the parachute, which is kind of good because someone's going to use that parachute and die. There's not many high points to jump off here anyhow. Alright. That takes care of the all the AI. Alright, now we're going to go over loot and video will be done. Okay, so all AI has a 60% chance of a box of nails and other stuff. Weapon cleaning kit, you know, duct tape, different things you use, repair kits. And a filtering bottle, 60% chance, which is really nice for the snow. Alright, however, as a bonus, the construction worker always has 2 boxes, 100% chance. Alright? The biker, aka Negan, has 1 box of nails, 100% chance. The Gilly at the volcano in the middle of the map has 2 boxes, 100% chance. The paratroopers have 2 boxes, each 100% chance. Okay? So when these drop at 30 minutes, every 30 minutes, if you happen to be in the area, you're good to go. If you decide you want to fight them. They do have MP5s, just so you know. And the reason why they're aggroing on me is because they can hear me talking in the mic. And I think it aggroes them. They can also hear me running around. What up, bro? Alright, I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss anything. That's a lot of AI. But keep in mind, these don't spawn. They only spawn when you get in a certain range. You know, I can set the ranges when they spawn, when they despawn, how long it takes them to respawn, how long it takes them to despawn, to manage their performance. I have a 10 slot server and I've never seen more than 3 people play. This is not a, you know, big server like I used to run. What it is a great server for new players learning and want to get in PvP. They can practice on these things, these bots. And since the loot is default here, vanilla, other than certain things I use with a tablet to spawn you in, you learn the base game. And it's easier for me to maintain the server. Alright, one last thing. As far as accuracy, all of these guys are set at 6.0 out of 10. When you fight AI, if you're up this close, you're probably going to lose unless you get a jump on them. Their accuracy doesn't work like the old AI mod. The old AI mod, it went by how fast they could spin. This one goes by distance, from what I'm testing. So in other words, you got a better chance. They'll miss you more if you're here. Okay? If you're further away. Keep that in mind. They start approaching, getting too close, I'd move back. Especially if you got 2. That's how you live. Alright? Alright guys, I appreciate you watching. I'm sorry this isn't really for everyone, but might give some server owners idea how AI, might give them some ideas. Hell, I'll take ideas. Alright, later nerds.